I guess it's happy hour at the Banner Bar, so let's get into it. I'm not mad, per se. I'm just feeling like I should be the dick that some people think I am. So that's what this episode is going to be devoted to. The original title of the episode, I think the working title was mostly non-alcoholic. Most of this shit is non-alcoholic. It's a bunch of leftovers. I mean, I don't gotta say shit. If I need a drink, I'm gonna go back to this Boulevard's Calling IPA. It's probably too fucking warm to even enjoy now, but yeah. Beer is better cold. Let's say that. All right, we're gonna start off with Texas Select's non-alcoholic. See if there's anything worth noting here. It's only 58 calories. Contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume, which I'm pretty sure they all have to call themselves non-alcoholic. We'll see what's what. And I didn't make a big pour, but I could, because why the fuck not? Question is, would you rather be tased or pepper sprayed? For some reason, my ass thought tased had a Z in it, but I stand corrected. This smells basic. Basic American beer. Give it a shot. I don't really have much else to say. Looks like it might have just barely some body on it, but kind of malty looking. So that's promising. Let me wash this IPA out of my mouth. It's like malt water. When it first hits you, you don't even taste the beer. Beer is a very light afterthought. I mean, it's not offensive. I kind of like the malt quality. I don't like the after flavors so much. It's a malt beverage is what it says. Okay. That explains. So, not technically a beer. You're not going to get hops hidden in here somewhere to give the extra character. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 4 on this. I would technically say Keystone is superior, but this isn't unpleasant. There's not really anything there. Tased or pepper sprayed? I don't really like being electrocuted. As of late, I don't really like heat-involved things either, but I would say pepper sprayed. I'm curious about that. I'm not so curious about the being tased. I just think that's gonna fucking suck. Being pepper sprayed will suck as well, but not in a traumatic way. Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck, who knows? Next up, we got Lemon Lime Gatorade Zero. So again, this is non-alcoholic. This, I think, falls more in the soda category. There's no calories, no caffeine, no sugar. Right? Right. There's some carb in it, which I guess is sugar, technically. The scent on this, if Surge from back in the day, Surge soda, if you ever had that, that's kind of what this reminds me of. Just no carbonation, obviously. There's some irony here that I'm doing a bitchy non-alcoholic episode when I'm clearly intoxicated. The question is, have you had a tire blowout while driving? I actually like the smell on this. Reminds me of my childhood in a good way. The taste doesn't quite deliver, but it doesn't offend. I mean, it's hardcore decent. Good might be a stretch, so let's go with a 5. Yeah, if you like Surge back in the day and you don't really care for carbonated beverages, that'd be your jam. Have I had a tire blowout while driving? Yes, I have. 2 stories that always stick out of my head. One of the blowouts, I was driving at night and I was trying to get home real fast from like Kansas, I think, to Texas. So not the best driving. You're going to hit possums and I'm pretty sure I hit a few possums and then a tire blew out. So I was freaked out by going out and changing the tire because I was convinced there was going to be like blood and guts all over everything. And there probably was, but it was real dark. I had to change the tire no matter what. So got it done, got back on the road. The other story, my son, he did a lot of laying. They don't let you lay babies on their stomach anymore. You're not supposed to, because that results in SIDS about 50% more of the time than laying them on their back, which is weird because I always thought you'd choke more on your back, but babies apparently have a tendency to suffocate themselves if they're allowed to lay toward their face. Anyway, so he lays on his back a lot. We didn't really think about the fact that it was misshaping his skull, but totally had like this flat line across the back, like somebody had just laid a board crooked across the back of his head. So we had to start going to Dallas to get his head looked at, and he had to wear a helmet and all that shit. And one of those drives down there, I'm doing 80 underground on like the express lanes of 635, and I'm all the way up against the wall and a fucking tire blows out. Luckily, it stayed on the rim, so it wasn't atrocious. I killed the cruise control, got off the highway real fast, and that was that. That was my scariest tire blowout experience personally, because I had a baby in the car with me. Freaked me the fuck out. Anyway, Sangria Senorial. It's a sparkling non-alcoholic sangria with natural and artificial flavors, because of course it's got both. But somehow there's no juice in this. So the lead that they hide here is natural and artificial flavor. They're not actually going to tell you what that is, because then you can make it at home. Anyway, this is sangria with, I'm guessing, carbonation and no alcohol. No, not really carbonated. Okay. This actually smells like the non-holiday sangria that I'm told to expect. It's a very heavily fruited type of, essentially, wine. Question. What do you think of as being worth reporting on the news? This reminds me of feet, and not in a good way. Something off-putting about the note. Like, you get kind of grape juice and fruit juice mixed together. Very light carbonation. But there's some underlying funk to it that is not pleasant. I'm going to give it a 3. News reporting. Well, since you asked, get some water and another drink off this double IPA. Since can't do Banner Bar and be pretty much alcohol free, right? I wish it was cold, man, but it still does not taste like a double IPA at all. Boulevard. If you get a chance to check them out, definitely do. 2 things that I think are worth reporting on the news. That I don't really watch the news. I watch a lot of YouTube commentary about the news, essentially, from people whose political opinions I trust and their analysis of things. It's what they do for a living, so I trust it more than I do most others. But what I would really like to see if I was watching the news is I would like to see stories about the scientific breakthroughs that are being made in the world. Scientific advancement and what can be done to actually help push that further. How do we get closer to renewable energy? How do we actually aid in the fight against cancer, because apparently that's way, way more complicated than anyone expected it to be. The other thing that I really find is lacking from primarily American news media is adversarial interviews. You may not necessarily disagree with who you're bringing on, but ask them the uncomfortable questions. You know, everybody is vying for access, so you see these softball questions on outlet after outlet, whether it's right-wingers going on a right-wing, news show, or left-wingers going on a left-wing news show. Not that there's really a big left-wing news show in the States, because there's not. Right-wing exists, left-wing not so much. You get centrist at best. All the right-wingers I see online losing their minds about leftists and what they're trying. Oh my God, if you had any idea who we really are. That's great. But maybe more feel-good stories, stories that the public can help with. Like what they used to do on the old school Unsolved Mysteries. I really, really appreciate that stuff. And it reminds me what's great about being a human being is you're involved in this society. Anything that involves the advancement of our species, that's what I think is worth reporting on. Unless you want to talk about moneyed corruption, which none of you do, so I'm not going to waste my breath. Next is Stella Artois. No alcohol whatsoever. And this is their Liberte, or Liberte. I don't know what it is. There's only 59 calories in this entire bottle. 13.2 grams of carb, though. Little on the high end, if you ask me. Question: what sort of character would you be typecast as if you were an actor? Oh, it made the noise. That's a good one. That's every bit as good as Alabama Boss's cat call from his lids. Which, mine isn't going to do because it's already open. But yeah, go watch some Rated Red if you haven't seen it. It's Stella. I mean, it smells beautiful off the top. You get that German malt note. The grains that they use. Absolutely gorgeous. You can kind of tell it's non-alcoholic if that draws it down for you. But if personally I were not drinking alcohol at all, this is the scent I'm looking for. The body is slightly lighter than a normal Stella. Carbonation is great. It does have like a very, very minimal lemon quality to it. I'm guessing that comes from, getting the alcohol out of the beer. That has got to be the most beautiful non-alcoholic I've ever had. I'm going to go with an 8. Call me crazy if you want to. I really, really love it. If I were drunk and you just started handing me these Libertés, I'd drink them all night. So, something to keep in mind for those of you looking to get away from the drinking of alcohol. The typecast as an actor thing, that's a little difficult. I've honestly never considered. I know I wrote the question. I don't think I actually considered the question. Like it popped into my head. I wrote it down, but I didn't take the time to go down that thought avenue. I would hope it was something closer to a method actor, something more like Leo, for instance. Not to compare myself to Leonardo DiCaprio, because that's not at all my intention. But I am like Shrek. I have layers, I'm that onion. I guess that's most people. Like you could say this about Jonah Hill or Adam Sandler or anybody really, because you just get typecast. Fuck. It would probably be some pathetic loser in rom-coms or something, because I'm ultimately a sad bastard, even though I have comedic moments. I have very insightful and deep moments. I live for that stuff. But I really like flirtation, and if I could bring myself to actually work out all the time and be that sexy no matter what person. Could totally vibe with that sort of typecasting, but I think I'm the pathetic loser in the rom-coms or that sort of movie, just because that's who I am. And we're overlooked. Nice guys finish last a lot of the time, but if you're lucky, like I was lucky, you'll meet someone who appreciates it. So don't change who you are. I wasn't scared coming into this episode because I thought it's non-alcoholic for the most part. So it's going to be fine. But I undervalued that I'm still drinking alcohol, and I'd been drinking alcohol before we started, so it's a little more revealing of an episode than I expected it to be. Next up is the Glacier Freeze Gatorade Zero. Now, there was a Gatorade episode, and we had 6 of them, but the 2 that you're seeing tonight were not included because they seemed more like offshoots of some of the bigger names or some of the bigger flavors. This one, not so much, though, because this is one of their best sellers. It's just when you looked color-wise, it didn't exactly match with the lineup and whatever. It smells like a blueberry, maybe blackberry, raspberry, cherry type thing. Like it's bright, punchy fruits. Question is, what's your least favorite chore to do? Man, feels good to drink some Gatorade when you've been drinking alcohol. 7. I like this. It's easy to drink. Got a good flavor profile. Doesn't really get old. It feels like it quenches your thirst. I mean, this may remind me of childhood, but this, no matter how old I am, I can reliably drink it and feel my age. I guess if that makes any sense. Excuse my coat. My least favorite chore to do is the dishes. No doubt about it. I don't do the lawn stuff anymore. We actually have someone come and do the lawn. I don't even think we should be doing that, I like the, if I didn't have kids trying to run around the yard, which I think is why it started, not this like capitalist notion of bleed the, natural world out of everything. But that people have kids and they don't want them bitten by snakes and spiders and stepping in ant piles and everything else. If I didn't have to worry about that stuff, like I could see replacing the grass with like turf or, just letting it grow. I think the natural ecosystem would be a beautiful thing, but it's not my world. Even though I'm not in an HOA, we still feel this pressure to conform, I suppose. So, dishes. I can't stand doing the dishes. I hated it when I was young. I still hate it to this day. I will clean your house. I will dust your house, vacuum, sweep, mop, do your laundry. I'll clean your fucking toilets and everything else. Take out all the trash. All that stuff. If you take dishes off the list, I'm okay with doing everything else. I don't really understand the reasoning behind that. It's so minutely intensive what you're doing, And I'm somebody who has never understood the dishwasher, right? So do I just kind of clean the stuff off and then put it in there to be even more clean? Because the way I clean shit and then rinse it off, I just have to let it dry in the dishwasher. Like I leave it, open for the most part. So it just air dries and then you're good to go. I don't really understand. Like I soap and watered that shit and got everything off of it. We're fine. What's the dishwasher for exactly? Because you can't just put food covered dishes into the dishwasher and expect it to be done. So, or can you? I never really understood this. So, primarily I think why I hate doing the dishes is because I have girly hands. Anyone who's been with me or had the opportunity to touch me a lot, I have very soft hands. And doing dishes dries your hands out like a motherfucker. I feel like I have to, rehydrate and lotion like crazy when I'm done. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Please don't ask me to do the dishes. I hate it. Oh, I'll cook on top of everything else, if I didn't mention. Sorry. I'm not looking for my next partner. I'm just making sure that everyone's clear. Like, I'm the person who will do everything. I just don't want to do the dishes. If you fuck me real good, I'll do the dishes too, but... Final drink. Budlight Seltzer's Seltzer Nog. It's 5% ABV, so this is the only alcoholic beverage at the table. Been sitting in the fridge for a while. Not that that matters. So right off the bat, this smells like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Only 100 calories in the can. 1 gram of carb. Less than 1 gram of sugar. Yeah. I don't want to like this thing. I haven't tasted it yet. But it really does smell good. Which is saying something because the scent of seltzers tends to be off-putting just as much as the taste is. Question is, what would you do for shelter if you were suddenly homeless? Okay. Taste-wise. Doesn't taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If you can think of, not salty, maybe eggy, like a little bit eggy, pecan pinwheels. I don't know if you remember those, like Little Debbie, I think, makes the packs or whatever. But pecan pinwheels, that's totally what this tastes like. Like a slightly eggy, it's almost got a salt vibe. Pecan pinwheel. That's where we're at. Would totally give this a 6. I think it's good. Like, I'm going to skip decent completely because it just activates something in my brain that makes me think, I want a whole fucking pack of pecan pinwheels right now. Can't have it, but I want it. Lord. I have not drank much of this IPA. I think because it's warm. I should have grabbed something else. Warm IPA does not hit the spot. This is working nicely though. That's the problem with these. If you like the flavor on a seltzer and you've got a bunch of them, you can't really tell. You don't get the fullness that you do from beer. You don't have the slowness to drink it from the hops. I mean, it's just a malt beverage that fucking slides down your throat like slightly carbonated water. You're going to get drunk drinking seltzers. So here's to getting drunk drinking seltzer. The honest answer about what I'd do for shelter if I was suddenly homeless was I would lean on family. I haven't burnt those bridges the way that other people have. I've never really had to ask for much in the way of assistance. That being put aside, assuming that wasn't an option, I would totally eat pussy for shelter. 1, I'd enjoy it. 2, I'm good at it. And 3, it's gonna keep me under a roof at night. So, win-win-win. And I apologize that you're watching The Biggest Idiot on the internet right now, but here we are. So help me keep the convo going by sharing this video. And I'll see you next time, same place, for another round at the Banter Bar.
I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go back.
I appreciate the sip. I think I could drink quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.
Thank you, good folks, for sticking around. We're going to do the most absurd thing and mix all 6. I was trying to think if there were just 2 that would, we're going to mix all 6. Eventually, I would like to do some episodes where we do just mix 2 beers at a time and see what that's like. But for now, let's get the 6 mixer. I'm thoroughly surprised, by the way. I thought this Sangria one was going to be impressive, and it was my least favorite at the table. This may be the weirdest mixer of all time as well, because most of this is non-alcoholic. Some of it's soda and a seltzer. It smells like a weird-ass root beer. Okay, for the most part, that's pretty good. I would probably say 6, maybe a 7 on that. But to give you some idea of how bad the like funk foot quality coming off of this is, I can still taste it above everything else. So anyway, here's to not having to taste anything else that reminds me of stinky feet. I don't mind the good feet. It's the stinky feet I don't want. And I'm talking like, I don't even know how to say it. So, never mind. Farewell, beer snobs. It's like, I want feet to stink. I like the odor of feet, but I don't like the odors of certain feet. Right? Like, it has to not be a gym, watery funk. Has to be like a body odor, drier type foot funk. I have no idea. I love you guys.